Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Inner Wisdom, and this is going to be another tarot spreads video. This video we're going to be doing the spread called A New Relationship. This spread can be found in this book, Illustrated Tarot Spreads by Filner and Schreiner. And this particular spread, the spread titled A New Relationship, can be found on page 38, A New Relationship. There are 8 cards. We have it spread out here in front of us on the tarot, I don't even know what you would call it, the tarot mat. And there are 8 cards. So the first card number 1 is here, and this represents myself. So I would be doing this for myself. You can do this for someone else, so that card would represent them. The second card that's crossing over is how do I feel consciously about the relationship. So the relationship I'm doing the reading for, this is how I feel consciously about it. Card number 3, which is this card here, represents how I feel unconsciously about the relationship. Card number 4, which is over here in this corner, is what mistakes from the past should I recognize and clear away. Card number 5, which is this here, what additional qualities do I need to take on? Card number 6, what positive effect will my change create? Card number 7, what will not happen? And card number 8, what does the oracle say about the relationship? So that's what we're looking at. It looks like an inverted an inverted pentagram. Looks like an upside down star. So let's take a look and reveal the cards, do the reading. I'm using the Rider-Waite, and after we look at it in regards to these cards, we'll compare it with the Greenwich Tarot. So represents I myself. How do I consciously feel about the relationship? How do I unconsciously feel about the relationship? What mistakes from the past should I recognize and clear away? What additional qualities do I need to take on? What positive effect will my change create? What will not happen? And what does the oracle say about this relationship? Okay, so the first thing I noticed is most of the cards, all of the cards are upright. The only card that could be considered it's not upright or inverted is the card that goes this way. I suggest that when you are doing readings, you consider, is this way inverted or would this way be inverted? But for now, we're going to say none of the cards are inverted or reversed, which is something to note. Whether you read reversed cards or not, if none are inverted or all of them are inverted, I feel that that's a sign that there is some significance going on there. Okay, so I myself, the other things I would take note of is how many major arcana cards do we see here? There is only 1. There are 2 court cards, 2 swords. There are 3 chalices, 2 wands. So there are no pentacles present. So I would consider, what does this mean? There are no pentacles present. So I would say, because I think of pentacles as stability, the element of earth, grounding, stable, physical. So there's a lack of this in this relationship. So perhaps there's a lack of feeling stable or secure in the relationship. There is a lack of maybe even physical contact in this relationship. Maybe there's not a lot of, sex involved here. Maybe there is a lack of connecting in a physical sense. or a sensual sense between the two individuals. If I'm reading for me, it would be me and this new relationship. Maybe there's no sexual attraction. Maybe there is attraction in every, maybe I'm fascinated by this person's mind, or maybe I'm fascinated by this person's personality, but I'm not sexually attracted to them. There could be a lack of connection, maybe because it's a long distance relationship kind of thing. But the lack of pentacles represents something here. Okay, so then I am represented by the only major arcana card we see here in this spread. So this definitely tells me that I am a focus on this specific relationship, which makes sense because I'm doing a reading for me. Because it's the Empress card, the correspondences I read in regards to the Empress card tells me that I am a nurturer. I am like a mother. She represents mother to me. She's someone who takes care of people. She's someone who caters to people. She is like support services. She is, when they say that behind every successful man is a woman, that's sort of what I see in her. She's Mother Earth. She nurtures, cares for, that kind of thing is sort of the grounding element in the relationship. So that's what would be represented by me. This is how do I feel consciously about the relationship. So for me, this would represent the other person because I see court cards as representatives of people. So I would say that when I look at this person, I look at him, I'm going to say him, as the very masculine but very much in touch with the feminine side of him. So he's an element of water. He would be more of a water element. He would be someone who is maybe feeling and sensitive and emotional, maybe a dreamer, someone who is very strong because he is a king and has authority, but is also in touch with that feminine side. So very much a projective individual, but is also receptive, sort of like a balance. So this is how I look at the relationship, and I feel consciously that he is someone that I'm looking for. He is, because I see the King of Chalices as the best example of, marriage material kind of thing. So I look at him as an ideal partner is how I would read this. So card number 3 is how do I feel unconsciously about the relationship. And here I see the Ace of Swords, which tells me that there is tension. There is sort of a conflict, either a new conflict or a conflict waiting to emerge. So I look at the relationship and I see conflict. So as much as I may consciously see him as a good partner or a good match for me or the perfect match for me, unconsciously I see him as a threat or someone that I'm going to be in conflict with or a fight, or that's how I would see this. So then the next card, card number 4, which is over here, is what mistakes from the past should I recognize and clear away? Well, the Eight of Chalices talks to me about searching for that which is missing, that it may appear on the surface to be complete, emotionally satisfying, and all the cups are full, but I'm still searching. I'm still looking for something that is missing, and maybe not recognizing that missing thing is within me. So I'm still searching for another chalice to fill them because I don't perceive the chalices as full. So I'm still going on a journey for that. I'm still looking elsewhere. So if this is a mistake from the past that I should recognize and clear away, is I should look at my past relationships and see that when I was in a relationship that I imagined was satisfying, I still looked elsewhere. Perhaps I cheated on my significant other. Perhaps I was, even though I may not have cheated, I was still looking for something better. This is something that should be dealt with if I want this relationship to continue. So that's the mistake from the past I should clear away. Card number 5, which is where the Queen of Wands is, what additional qualities do I need to take on? So I would need, because I see the cards as personalities, This would tell me that when I look at the Queen of Wands, what does she represent? She represents authority over self. She is someone who is definitely looking to advance or put in time, effort, and energy into the situation that she's engaged in. She motivates herself and others. She inspires herself and others. She is sort of the cheerleader, and she doesn't just sit around and wait for things to happen. She makes them happen. So these are the things and the qualities that I would need to take on if I want this relationship to last. So instead of just being support services for other people as the Empress is, or as I'm represented by the Empress, I need to continue to do these things, but also not wait for things to happen in the relationship, but look to make things happen. I need to take my own advice. I need to support myself and support others, but also do it. Not just say it, but do it. And that's what the Queen of Wands would represent here for me. Now, card number 6, or position number 6, what positive effect will my change create? So card number 6 is the 7 of Wands. So again, this is a wand, so it's talking about movement. So if I take on more qualities of the Queen of Wands, then I will see more movement. This the 7 of Wands talks to me about coming across other perspectives. It talks to me about finding ways to make compromises, having changes occur that I'm not ready for, and I would need to handle as they come across. It also talks about sort of prioritizing things as they happen as well. So this is definitely telling me that if I take on these qualities of the Queen of Wands, I am going to see changes occur in the relationship, maybe a whole bunch at once, and I may be overwhelmed. I would just need to prioritize things, because if I'm taking on these qualities in the relationship, I'm also going to be taking these qualities on in my life, and that may make other things occur in my life, and I may find that the relationship may not be the highest priority, but I'm going to need to find a way to prioritize that and to sort of prioritize the changes and sort of go with the flow, but understand that I can't do everything at once and I need to do things one at a time. I may also need to delegate some things in the relationship as well. And the last card, what does the Oracle say? The 3 of Chalices here talks to me about friendship and devotion and celebration and happiness and experiencing this joy with the person I'm with. Not just singular joy, but there's this sort of feeling of friendship and loyalty and trust and happiness. You know, I feel like this relationship is going to take on those qualities, but will again spill over into my life, making other relationships I have with other people, not necessarily romantic relationships, but friendships as well, have a positive change by just changing this one relationship. And that's how I would read this spread. So let's take out the Green Witch Tarot and compare and see if I would read anything differently with the different cards. If it would change the reading, if it does, or maybe it won't even change the reading. So let's place out these cards and see how things might look differently. So the Empress, I don't see any change. The King of Chalices, I don't see a change. Ace of Athames, Ace of Swords, I don't see a change here. This, I don't necessarily see a change. I would read it the same way. This one as well. This I would read just a little differently. This definitely talks to me about prioritizing things, setting up things. So this position was, what positive effect will my change create? This does talking about having more things to deal with and needing to have sort of a plan and a list of things and prioritizing things in the relationship. Maybe how I might read this is when I take on the more qualities of the Queen of Wands, it's going to affect how my partner or this person that I'm in a relationship with sees me, and maybe they may talk to me about different things or want to do different things with me. Maybe they want to make changes in the relationship, and this just tells me that I would need to prioritize what changes I want to embrace first, because it might be overwhelming to take more than one. This really talks about prioritizing things. and what will not happen. So the only difference I would read here is that this talks about, in this deck, I would look at the Four of Athames and say that what won't happen is I won't shut myself off from my partner if I do these things. I will not create a wall. I will not, that may sort of separate me from this person. It won't do that, because when I look at this card, this talks about creating a boundary between me and other things, or me and where I want to go. It talks about sort of self-sabotaging by creating this wall that isn't there. So if I make this change, take on the qualities of the Queen of Wands, then I will not build this wall. I will not sort of separate myself or detach myself from this relationship, because I'll be more involved. There won't be a tendency to sort of self-sabotage the relationship. And the End card, I would read the same. So again, this was a new relationship. This was that spread found in the book. And until next time, oh, well, you know what? If you do this spread for yourself or someone else, share your results with me. I'd love to hear how this worked for you. And tell me what deck you used too. So until next time, I love you. Blessed be.